Hey, everybody. Why is philosophy? Well, that's a big question that requires a big answer, probably several different answers, and it's the most philosophical question you could ask. Why philosophy? But anyway, it's sort of the preamble to what's going to end up being our religious ed unit for the rest of September on Wednesday nights, excluding September 14th, no class. But anyway, I hope that this is sort of a way to help kick off what we'll be talking about in our upcoming Christian Ed program on Wednesday nights. Why philosophy? Why are we digging into this kind of stuff in our upcoming class? Well, it's because human life isn't just sunshines and rainbows. And as a result, neither is our canon of Scripture, the Bible. It's full of books that speak to those points in our life that aren't great, and how we can still be loving, faithful followers of God, even when, life's thrown us a bunch of lemons. Look at, the lament Psalms. Look at the book of Job. Look at Ecclesiastes. Look at the whole story of Jonah as a whole, running away from his responsibilities in Nineveh. These are all examples of people who are kind of in the dumps and are either angry at God or angry at the world or angry at themselves, and they're trying to deal with it. And so these books speak to those times in our lives when we're feeling the same way, where maybe we feel God has left us, or we're not being answered, or the world isn't right for us. And so that's not to say that this upcoming class is just going to be a bunch of depressing, stuff. It's actually going to be great, excellent questions that will, I think, bring us closer to our understanding of faith. These kinds of books, Job and Ecclesiastes and all that, help us really look at what our faith is. And so that's why this upcoming class is entitled Faith and Philosophy. Now, it's important because there are branches of discussion and academic topics. There is the philosophy of religion, and then there's theology. So what we do here at church is pretty much theology. What we're really going to be doing in our Christian ed classes is going to be essentially theology. Because theology takes for its given that God does exist. And so theology will use philosophy or theology will discuss what that means about God, and then we'll also how we are to respond to God given what we know, and then we'll also discuss philosophical issues that arise from the presupposition that God does exist. Now, the philosophy of religion comes at it from a philosophical start. It comes from the branch of philosophy. And so it doesn't assume that God exists in the doing of the conversation. So, atheism and theism are both a part of that conversation when going into arguments. Again, so theology and philosophy of religion are certainly related. However, the dividing line is that the philosophy doesn't assume that the existence of God is necessary for that conversation, whereas theology would definitely say, well, we know God exists. Now what are we going to do with that knowledge? Anyway, the reason I love these conversations is because when I was in college, I was in a Philosophy 101 class freshman year, and I was asked questions that broke down what I was taught growing up. And so on the one hand, that really kind of hurt me, but I needed that breakdown. Just like if you are exercising or building muscle or working out or lifting weights, you're literally breaking down and tearing down your muscles so that they can be rebuilt bigger and stronger and faster and all that stuff. So that's kind of what we're doing with our minds and with our faith, is that we're going to ask some questions that break us down a little bit, probably, but in conversation with that, we're going to give ourselves the opportunity to rebuild it stronger. Asking these kinds of questions and using our reason and our minds and the experience of others in conversation is what builds our faith stronger. So even though we're going to be talking about all kinds of philosophical arguments and scriptural arguments that come from all these various books, what it's really hoping to do is to help tweak and twist and build our faith through examination, so that we come out of this not only with a better understanding of what faith is in general, but hopefully that our own individual personal faiths will be strengthened across the entire project. So I look forward to seeing you Wednesday nights in September. You can check out a link to the information below that will give you all that information. The sessions are going to be in person here in Cannon Hall, but they will also be recorded so that they can be put online. So if you can't come in person, you can definitely check us out after the fact. Thank you, and as always, everyone, God bless.